This is Sam Murphy. In December of 2004, my sister was working at the John Ankrum SPCA in Charleston, South Carolina. SPCA is the Society for Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, a local independent nonprofit not to be confused with the ASPCA. This particular SPCA doubled as the county shelter in Charleston. I decided to bring my recorder and camera and spend the day at the animal shelter. Those discs I recorded remained untouched in my office drawer for almost 12 years until this week. I decided to put together a story from the small portion of the recorded sound. Here is A Day at the Shelter.
This is our adoptable cat room. Actually, right now we have 2 rabbits in here also. All of these cats have all been tested. They've had all their shots, and they're just waiting for somebody to come get them. We have a play area, a play cat room where you can take any of the cats out because it's best to interact with them. And we like for people to spend, more than just 10 minutes looking at the cat and wanting it. All these guys are super friendly.
So this service is done by the city. This is the stray.
Yeah, these cats right now, we give them a 5-day hold if they come in as strays, and they belong to the county. All we do is provide food, water, and shelter for them for that 5 days, and then when that 5 days is up, they belong to us. So, and we go from there, getting them adopted. And we hope that most of the adoptable animals have the personality, live normal lives, but we do have animals that keep coming back, and they do go through cage rage, and then they're not adoptable anymore. So, which is understandable. I mean, who would want to keep coming back to live in a cage for months or weeks at a time? Okay, when we walk in here, the ones because they're probably all going to start barking, so I don't know how much you're going to be able to hear me. The ones on the right are still county strays, and then all the animals, all the dogs on the left are all adopted.
Well, when you don't have a job, money's better than no money, and that's how I looked at it. And I didn't even ask how much I would make. When she said you're hired, I'm like, yeah, I was so excited. When I got my first check, I was a little disappointed because of the work and the stress.
You don't realize what you're getting into most of the time.
Right. It's just you eventually are here for the animals and for who you work with. There's some jobs, you're like, oh God, I gotta go there again. But here, some days we have it. It's because we get tired of euthanasia or something.
Do you think if this was a no-kill shelter, it would be an easier job for you?
No. It'd be actually harder.
Really?
Because animals would suffer. There's animals that come in here severely bald, severely sick. And if this was a no-kill shelter, what would you do with them? I went through it. I was here like 6 months, and then they decided to put me in euthanasia in the back. And that was hard. I went home and I sat down and thought about, what just happened today. The highest I've ever done in ER was 87 in a day. And that's typical summer and springtime. People, they don't understand how important it is to spay and neuter the animals because you're just making a mess for us.
What did you do after that 87 animals in one day? What did you do afterwards?
Went home, cried, bitched, and drank. That takes care of everything.
This is our surgery trailer. Most of the techs use this area where we're standing to prepare the animals for surgery. We do puppies as small as 6 weeks, kittens 6 weeks. I think they just have to weigh in at about 2 pounds, and then she'll spay or neuter them.
Why did you decide to go into the spay and neuter thing instead of going into private practice?
I did private practice for about, did emergency clinic and large animal and small animal, I think about 6 years. I didn't even really realize that there were so many humane societies that have veterinarians on staff. It's kind of a new thing. But once I got here, it's like I'd never go back to private practices. I can't do the people thing. I can't do the human begging owners to let you spend some money on their animal and do what's right, and the whole, ugh. I am not a people person. And nor could a lot of people do shelter stuff, because it's, you can, either your back gives out or your heart gives out, or they both give out, or there is a pretty good burnout. But I've been at shelter stuff now for 7 years here and 2 years in Greenville, and I'm still fine. I have a very supportive husband who's in the business too. He works for American Humane, so he knows. He does a compassion fatigue workshop himself. He knows what that's all about. So if I didn't have a real good support structure, I might have crumbled. And I love full access. Definitely full access. There's limited access. They call no-kill shelters. That's nice for other people, but I definitely wouldn't do well at a no-kill shelter.
Why not?
I like the full access. I want the mangy mutts off the street. I want to know that they're here and we're taking care of them. See, they get turned away at a no-kill because obviously they'd have to euthanize them.
Okay, I'll give it another check for you.
Like 8 dogs, girl dogs, 8 boy dogs, 8 girl cats, 8 boy. You can stick both the spaniels.
Okay, just so you know, if you need me to reshave, let me know. I'm
Okay.
having some issues with the ball hair.
Oh, that's no problem. And here, we really haven't seen a big difference yet. We will, though. They say it takes sometimes 10 years in any one locale. Once a spay-neuter clinic opens up and you just slam spaying and neutering at the shelter and at a public facility, it can take up to 10 years for the local full-access shelter, which is us, and Berkeley County is a full-access shelter, to see a significant reduction in intakes.
I got a couple of videos you can watch.
No. I'd rather
Which
not
ones?
watch any videos of animal cruelty.
You know, it's back in November. Note the dogs are out there, but this is what they had for a shelter for this one. It's nothing more than a carrier, and this one has absolutely nothing for shelter, and they had them tied outside like that.
How much authority do you have to, I don't know if they even give you a badge or,
All I have is my name tag. I do have a badge. I normally don't use it, and I have my calling cards. As far as the authority to do this, most people listen because it's the SPCA, and they know the SPCA is going to go out there and try to. As far as the authority I have, if I have to take a dog, then normally I have to call animal control in. They'll assess the situation, and they'll take the dog, and they'll bring charges. I see 95-99% of what I go out on is ignorance. They just need education. But most of what I get is no food, no water, no shelter. I've had very few people that I went out and I said somebody was just concerned that there might have been a problem, and a lot of people think that's good. I get every once in a while, well, my nosy neighbors, but like the one I went out today with, there's really nothing wrong. A couple of things that I told her she needs to change, and they were already picked up on that anyway. And she says, that's fine, as long as somebody's watching out for my animals.
You have some unique issues here in Charleston. You have the pit bull fighting as well as hunting dogs that are starved.
This is a minority amongst your hunters that seem to think that if their dog is starving, it will hunt better. And so what they do is they'll stop feeding the dog, or they'll put it on real low rations, just enough to keep it alive during hunting season, so it's always hungry. When the fact of the matter is, if it's going to run out of stamina real fast. But people around here, some houndsmen, don't seem to get it. You have your 3 different types of pit bull fighters. You have your street fighter, what the HSUS calls a hobbyist fighter, and your professional. Your street fighter are 2 people walking down the road, each got a pit bull. My dog's better than your dog. Let's go find out. They may wager some money, or they may wager drugs. But this is just a spontaneous thing. You don't know what's happening when you roll up on this. There's probably 15 different ways that they can get away, and by the time you get there, you got nothing. The hobbyists got a little bit more together. They will set up a place and time and date for a fight. Only the people in that inner ring will be notified there's going to be a fight. There might be 1, 2 dogs, there might be 4 dogs, 6 dogs. But they've got it set up to where a lot of times they'll have a lookout on corners, and by the time that somebody gets in there, the lookout's already notified them, and everybody's broke up, and they're just sitting around smoking cigarettes. The professionals are even more. They do a whole lot of work to get their dogs in condition. It could go for a whole weekend. There's a lot of drugs, a lot of probably guns, a lot of money for betting. And typically you'll go to a location, you leave your car, they'll put you in a van or something, take you to another location, you transfer to another vehicle, to another location, until finally you just don't know where you are. Dogfighting is nationwide, it's international. There are people who will go actually out of the country with their dogs if they got a real good dog. It's all over the United States. Just catching them is the hard part.
Okay, where did you say you found him?
Aviation.
Aviation Avenue?
Yeah.
Wandering interstate?
Yeah. He's a stray dog. I just think I already got a dog and 2 cats. And I just don't. It gets expensive, you know, and I feel bad because I love human life. I mean, I love life, but it's just It's about the affordability, you know. It's just crazy anymore, you know.
All right, sir. I'll be right back. I need to get some more forms. I'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah, I have a heart, okay, but you know, I mean, it's just with 2 cats and a dog, it's got to take them. That's more extra payouts, you know. And, you know, we're just average people that, you know.
Most of the guys who work here do all of the kennels. They spray down all the kennels and then they go through a feeding process. Then we clean out we take all the cats out, clean all their cages, water, feed, litter box, and put them all back in. We spray down all the floors, about knee high to the walls, everything, and try to keep down as far as anything spreading. But that's basically what I do every day. And then do tuck-ins again at night, cleaning cages, feeding them water. It's a continuous process, so yeah.
Since this recording in 2004, the John Ancrum SPCA has changed their name to the Charleston Animal Shelter and is now a no-kill shelter. Thank you.